Hi everyone, welcome to A plus Calculus. I'm going to start a new series in which I'm going to do topic-wise analysis. Um, in this series I'm going to discuss question types, the type of questions that you can expect on SAT Math based on the 6 practice tests available on College Board's website. So in this video, I'm going to explain the number of questions that are asked from each topic that were there in each practice test. So if you go to the College Board's official website, there are 6 practice tests available, and I did the analysis of those practice tests. And you can ignore column H, classes required. You can ignore that column. And in this analysis, I realized that almost 40% of the questions were actually asked from, 40% of the questions were there from algebra, all of algebra, like solving linear equations, system of equations in 2 variables, linear functions, word problems, value of functions. So you can see that if you take this portion, these 3 topics, the maximum number of questions were asked from algebra. Then there were many questions asked from exponential functions and also equivalent expressions. And one topic, quadratics. From quadratics, in every test, there were 4 questions, minimum 4 questions. In test number 6, there were minimum 4 questions. And in all the other tests, there were 5 or 6 questions from quadratics. Okay, so quadratics is the most important topic. And in the next video, we will discuss the type of questions that you can expect from quadratics. You can expect minimum 4 questions from quadratics. And apart from that, there will be one question on inferential statistics and one question on, so from statistics, you can expect 3 to 4 questions. In 2 tests, I saw 2 questions. In test number 6, only 2 questions. And in test number 1, only 2 questions. But in all the other tests, there were 3 questions. And in test number 2, there were 4 questions. And one question will be definitely there from inferential statistics, in which some survey has been done, and based on that survey or study or experiment, we have to apply the results of that survey to some population. And one question you can expect in which there are 2 data sets, and you have to compare the means or medians of those 2 data sets. That's statistics. And then you can expect one question from speed and distance, topic of speed and distance. From circles, definitely there will be one question based on equations of circles. So minimum 2 questions will be there from circles. One will be based on equations of circles, definitely. And one question you can expect of inscribed shapes, in which there will be a circle, and inside the circle there will be a rectangle or triangle. Then questions of surface area, volumes, and basically any other polygon other than triangles. You can expect 2 questions based on this topic. You can expect one question on unit conversion, conversion of miles to kilometers, square miles to square yards, all those questions. You can expect 2 questions from right triangles. So on right triangles, you can expect a question from either Pythagorean theorem, trigonometry, special right triangles, which are your 30, 60, 90 triangles, and 45, 45, 90 triangles, area of triangles, and properties of isosceles triangles. You can expect 2 questions, 1 to 2 questions from these topics. There will be definitely one question from transformations, that what happens if you shift a graph up or down, left or right. Only translation will be tested. Okay. Then definitely two questions will be there from inequalities, and questions from inequalities are mostly word problems. Some situation will be given and you'll have to write an inequality based on that word problem, or you will have to find out solution of an inequality or system of inequalities. Then you will get two or three questions based on writing a linear equation from either a scatter plot. I have seen one question in which there is a scatter plot and you have to write the equation of the line of best fit that will pass through that scatter plot. Or you have to write the equation from tabular data in which ordered pairs are given. So you have a table, you have x values, y values, and you have to write the equation of the linear function. Or the graph is given, some graph is given, and you have to write the equation of this line. Or a point is given and the slope is given, then you have to write the equation of the line. So writing equation of a linear equation from scatter plot or tabular data or graph or point and a slope. Then you can expect one question from parallel and perpendicular lines. These questions are so you should know what is the relationship between the slopes of parallel and perpendicular lines. Then you can also expect one or two questions or maybe three questions from value of function. So a function will be given and you have to find out the value of that function at some point, or value of the function will be given and you have to find out at which x value the function will take certain y value. Then this linear function word problems, you can expect minimum 3 or 4 questions. So word problems will definitely be there from linear functions. That can include interpretation of the slope or the y-intercept in the real world context, finding out slope or y-intercept from real world context, or you'll simply have to solve a linear function word problem. Then you can also expect then minimum three questions will be there from system of linear equations in two variables. Okay. And then solving linear equations, you can expect 2 to 3 questions. One question will be there from probability. Two questions were there from percentages in every test. And then you can also expect 1 to 2 questions from graph analysis. So some graph will be given, either a bar graph or histogram or a line chart. Those questions are really easy. They're basically free points. Some graph will be given and you'll just have to find out something. Now, if we go down, one question will be there from parallel lines and transversal. So, two parallel lines will be given and one transversal will be there. So you'll have to find out some missing angle. One question will be definitely there from similar triangles or congruent triangles or triangle proportionality theorem. Quadratics is the most important. I've already told you there will be 4 questions, minimum 4 questions from quadratics. One question you can expect from unit rates, 2 questions from statistics. You can also expect, so there were only 2 tests, test number 1 and test number 4, in which there were problems of absolute values. So we'll be definitely discussing that as well. And then, yes, I've also seen a problem in which they ask you that this function, like they'll give you some situation, maybe some tabular data, some ordered pairs or some word problem, and you'll have to identify that this function represents increasing linear or decreasing linear or increasing exponential or decreasing exponential. Okay. And then solving exponential equations and laws of exponents. I saw only one problem based on this in test number 6. But even if you're getting only one problem from a certain topic and only in one test we have to do it, you cannot ignore it. There was a very easy problem on ratios in test number 6, and that was very easy. Like that's just, 6th grade problem. So that's something that's just, I think, basic knowledge that we don't have to learn that. And then unit rates, problems in which you have to find out miles per hour, or like a word problem will be there in which you have to find out some quantity per hour, per kilometer. Those are your unit rates. That's pretty much the entire analysis. And yes, polynomials, polynomial graphs, factor theorem, and x-intercept and y-intercept. You can expect one problem from this topic. So in the upcoming videos, I will be taking one. So there are around 30 topics. I have created these categories, and these are around 30 categories. So in this series, I'm going to pick a category and we will discuss the type of questions from each category. Now, in the next video, I will be discussing the type of questions that you can expect from quadratics.